Welcome to another episode of Jash Reads, the series where I read a book cover to cover and discuss it chapter by chapter. And I also do stuff in Minecraft. And I just want to give a little update because I've been trying to figure out for like 20 minutes. 20 minutes before I began this fucking stream. Because I looked for this world. I couldn't find it. I was like, oh fuck, they deleted it, and I like look on Reddit, and sometimes I guess they delete worlds. Sometimes things are messed up with the files, so I finally gave up. Spent like 5 or so minutes making up a new world, turning on some of the experiments. Oh my god. And then I was like, no, I'm just going to give this one more try, one more look through all these worlds. Maybe I'll find something. And then I looked at this one file, which didn't have a picture because it wasn't synced. So, wasn't synced. And it just looked odd, and I guess I wasn't really looking at it because it was at the very bottom for some goddamn reason. And so I was like, okay, watch during night. Oh, you get drafts for this one, yay. But I'm not watching it, I'm streaming. But, so anyways, I'm finally was like, okay, I'm doing the old tried and true method of fuck it, I'll try clicking on it. Okay, let me see. Can I view my chat or not? Got it. Dismiss this message. Okay. So I was like, okay, the tried and true method of fuck it, I'll just click on it and see if it works because I am out of ideas. So I was like, okay, I'll click on this one random file and maybe it'll actually work. Maybe this is the solution. Maybe not. If not, I'll start in this new world. Where, we spent so much time and fucking effort renovating this mansion, this lodge thing. Oh my god. And so I click on it. Again, not knowing what to expect. And suddenly, boom! Here it is, as soon as I saw, that the little orange floor there, I was like, oh my god, I know exactly what this is. Okay, so yeah, so besides reading a book cover to cover, we build stuff in Minecraft. Okay, let's get on the ground first. I don't want to drop from too high and hurt our little Tobias. Oh. Okay. And right now, since we have finished renovating, we're going to look at some new place. So yeah, we're going to do a little more adventuring than building. And we're in creative mode, so nothing can harm us, but still, a little sense of adventure. Guess we need to get up there. Okay, let's do this. So we have to get around this fucking building. So yeah, I had really thought I had lost this file, this world. Like, I just spent all this fucking time renovating the little mansion thingamajig. And I was so excited today to actually get started exploring a little bit more and finding some new project to tackle. And I was like, no, I'm gonna have to start all anew. What was the point? Okay, there seems to be a bright light over there. Please tell me that's not just the sunset. I mean, if it was just a sunset, I mean, great, but I swear it was like lava or something. I don't think I get out too much, so I think I just got confused. Oh well. Okay. Okay, Tobias is still with me. I can't put things on leaves. Okay, that's good to know. Whee! I'm a superhero. I'm just really glad to be back in this world. Nice exploring. I like exploring for, exploring's sake. I know some people don't really like creative or peaceful. There's not much of a challenge. Okay, let me. I swear, people, we are going to get to the dramatic reading part of this. But first, I want to make it to this little mountain area. I think that's for snow. Should be close by. I think also one day we should sort of far in the future, most likely, like connect them by roads and have like little lodges or inns. Like, I was trying to put the map up like it was a fucking torch. Okay. Should be very close by. This is great. Being in a world with spiders. Like, whenever there's a fantasy setting, it's like, what do we need to make this really good? We need giant spiders for some fucking reason. Okay, there. Okay, I think I see the whole mountains. I think I see the eyes of a spider. Definitely hear these zombies. There you go away, you little shit. Something I wear so I can get the whole not falling into. Not falling into the snow. Don't I need like. Well, find out. Maybe it works. Maybe I'm just on survival mode. Who knows? Okay, let's get to a nice little spurt. Maybe make a village or something. Let's get to the top of the mountain. No indication that there's a village, but you know, I can find out. Oh, I just feel like getting to the top of the mountain now. That's my goal. I know I can just like fly around in creative mode, but I do like doing things the old-fashioned way. Careful. Okay, let's just do a little fly up here. Okay, I'm going to transform this into a small little village. Oh yeah, let's put the bell there. Okay, let's see. Okay. Okay, I think we've spent long enough figuring out a lovely place to start our little village to actually get, you guessed it, finally, after like 13 minutes, we're going to start this fucking dramatic reading. Woo! Oh, I never mentioned because I was so excited to have not lost this world, I sort of forgot how to to announce what book we're doing. And if you didn't read the title, you know. But anyways, we are continuing to read Animorphs, number 13, The Change by K.A. Applegate. And we have a nice little mood setting here. Like nice new terrain. We don't know what exactly is going to happen. I know I want to build something here. But besides that, it's a new adventure, nice snow, nice little night. Okay, where's did the Kindle run away from me? Oh, okay, it's here. It's here. Anyways, so yeah. Animorphs, number 13, The Change by K.A. Applegate. Whew. Okay, hang on, I'm getting a little set here. Okay, got that burp out of the way. Let's get the book up and running. And here we go. High above the treetops, Jake flew in his swift peregrine falcon morph, calling down directions to Rachel and me. It was weird. It almost felt like Jake had taken over my role or something. Like he was pretending to be me. Normally, I'd be the one up there riding the wind. Okay, not far now, Jake said. You're almost there. You guys know which direction to go after the Yerks catch your trail, right? Yeah, we know, Mother, Rachel said. What are we, idiots? Then to me she said, we do know, right? I'm pretty sure. I mean, it's harder to keep track of where things are when you're down on the ground. Just trees and bushes everywhere. You can't see the horizon. You can't see the sun. The forest was impossible for a Hork-Bajir trying to be quiet. I mean, we could have slashed our way through the brambles and thorn thickets, but that would have attracted too much attention too soon. So we tried to hurry, but without making too much noise. And let me tell you, Hork-Bajir bodies are not built for quiet. That's why you have me up here, Jake said cheerfully, to guide you. Don't sweat it. I can see the ravine. I can see that Cassian Axe and the two Hork-Bajir are getting into position. And I see Marco. Heck, with these falcon eyes, I can practically see Marco's fleas. Easy for you to be cocky, I muttered. You're up there safe. Do you see the line of fire? Rachel asked Jake. Because I sure do smell it. Yeah, Jake admitted. In fact, the fire forms a semicircle around you. The Taxons and friends are the other half of the circle. The only way open is the ravine. So we're just going to get one chance. Wonderful, I said. Okay, you guys, a big, fat pair of Taxons are just on the other side of that pile of rocks. What pile of rocks? Rachel asked. Oh, well, I can see that it's a pile of rocks from up here. From where you are, it's probably just looks like a thick tangle of weeds and thorns. Cool, Rachel said calmly. I guess it's time. Yep, ladies first. No, after you. I insist. We pushed our way through the bushes and climbed to the top of what did turn out to be a pile of rock boulders. At the top, we stopped and stared. Just 20 feet away were two taxons. Two vile, disgusting taxons. Allies, not just slaves of the Yerks. A species that ate its own when given half a chance. I don't know if it was the hawk in me that was angered by the sight of the two humongous worms marching through a decent forest, or the human side of me that just didn't like gigantic worms, period, or some deep instinct of the Hork-Bajir mind. But I was suddenly filled with hatred and rage. The anger hit me like a baseball bat alongside the head. It was sudden and ferocious. The plan was to run from the taxons, but all of a sudden, I didn't want to run. I wanted to see what my Hork-Bajir blades would do. I wanted to hurt the taxons. Let's take 'em, I said. Rachel turned her snake head toward me. What? That's not the plan, Tobias. They shouldn't be here. Look at them. Look at them, slithering through the forest like they own it. They shouldn't be here. This isn't their place. It's ours. It's mine. Tobias, calm down. It makes me mad too. But we have to stick with the plan. No, we don't. I said, I'm tired of plans. Rachel grabbed my shoulder. I almost spun around and slashed at her. That's how mad I was. My arm actually came up as if I were going to strike. But Rachel didn't back away. Look, Tobias, you're mad, but it's not the time or place. The person you're mad at is beyond your reach. You can't get back to the Elmis for betraying you. Somehow her words penetrated the black rage that had swallowed me up. No, I couldn't get back at the Elmist. And it was him I was furious with. Wasn't it? Rachel was right. She had to be right. It was the Elmist's fault. Stick to the plan, Tobias. Don't get us all killed because you're mad at the Elmist. Yeah, you're right. The plan. Rachel released my shoulder. I stared down at the taxons. They had frozen on seeing us. They knew they were no match for a couple of desperate Hork-Bajir. But then, through the woods, shadowy figures appeared. Hork-Bajir warriors. Hork-Bajir controllers. Shriya Shrit! The taxons shrilled in their own hissing language. From the trees, a dozen Hork-Bajirs suddenly broke at full run. Out of here! Rachel yelled. Right behind you! We bolted, and we no longer had to worry about being too obvious. The Hork-Bajir were after us, and we had to use maximum speed to escape. The plan seems to be working so far, Jake called down. Yeah, they're on us, Rachel said. We ran through the bushes like only Hork-Bajir can run. Our arms slashed the air again and again, quick as striking snakes. We destroyed the bushes and saplings like a pair of out-of-control nuclear-powered lawnmowers. Slash, 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 slash. But there was one big problem with doing what we were doing. See, we were slowed down a little by having to cut our way through, and the Hork-Bajir behind us could just follow our trail. They're gaining on you, Jake said. Yeah, we noticed. How far to the ravine? Too far. You won't make it this way. Oh, sorry, the screen was going dark, so I had to stop there, and then I lost. What was I reading? Where was I on the page? Aha! Okay, I'm going to have to take a sip of Coke for my hard work. Okay. Okay, found where I was. Okay, let's get this party going again. Woo! Well, find a way, I yelled. I could see the pursuing Hork-Bajir. Their horn blades were bobbing above the undergrowth. They were not far behind us. Not far, as in pretty soon I'd be smelling their bad breath. I can't tell what anything is from up here. Jake cried. It's like reading a map or something. What should I be looking for? We need to go at an angle, I said. Look for a gully or ditch that runs across our path. The deeper, the better. Oh, nothing. Wait, maybe that's a gully. There's a little stream running down it. Just tell us left or right, I yelled. Okay, left. No, God. I was thinking my left. Go right. Oh, okay. 10 more steps. The Hork-Bajir were on us. In seconds, they'd have us in clear view. There! Jake yelled. Yeah! I said. We had a tiny, shallow stream. It was almost hidden by overhanging vines and drooping branches. This way, Rachel. I crouched as loud. Yeah, they crouched loud and soft. This is a disaster. Okay, I'm going to go one paragraph above. And whew. There! Jake yelled. Yeah! I said. We hit a tiny, shallow stream. It was almost hidden by overhanging vines and drooping branches. This way, Rachel. I crouched as low as my massive, stiff Hork-Bajir body could go, and I ran bent over along the stream. Rachel was inches behind me. Ow! She yelped. What? Your tail caught me in the neck. Never mind. Run, run! Behind us, I could hear the noise of the pursuing Hork-Bajir grow louder, then slowly more distant. All right, Jake said. You lost them. Now you have to cut left to get back toward the ravine. Up and out of the gully we leaped. Back on dry ground, we found some nice, open country beneath very tall trees. Oh man, this isn't good, Jake said. What? Tell me. The fire is sweeping right down the lip of the ravine from the north, and the Yerks are closing the gap from the south. What do we do? I asked. Look, there's no way around this, Tobias. There's a line of Hork-Bajir now between you two and the ravine. You have to go through them. Hope you haven't lost all that anger, Rachel said to me. Looks like we fight, after all. And that's the end of the chapter. Yay, so happy! Okay, I think we're going to build a nice fire around this tree. I feel like bonding with... Or is it a pair of trees? Okay, yeah, we're just going to do... Tree and, I guess, clear that tree. Okay. There's only one tree here, and that's this tree. Need to specify this. So yeah, that's the nice, lovely chapter. Again, this was a book written for kids, for young adults. I remember reading this series like back in the day. And like, this is a nice, adventure to go on. And now that I read it as an adult, it's like, oh my fucking god, those are kids. Well, it's not just, a nice little adventure. It's like these are kids getting deeply traumatized. Right. Oh shit. No. Oh god. You have to replace that wood. We don't want stripped, we want... Is this spruce? Okay, yeah, that's spruce. But now I can read like, oh no, it's teenagers getting traumatized. God. And Tobias is... What's really interesting about this chapter is Tobias has now gotten his wish of not just being safe in the sky. He's now on the ground having to deal with actual dangers. And it's sort of interesting to see how he's responding to it. Because... he seems to be projecting his feelings onto Jake. Like telling Jake, oh, you're up out of danger, so you can be as cocky as you want because you're not going to actually be hurt if anything goes wrong. Which is, how he actually feels. Okay, let me put that more coherent terms of. Let's get some dirt here. What I mean by that is that he's projecting onto Jake all the insecurities he feels whenever he's providing air support. And just making sure of how deep the snow is, and I'll put the some of the little snow back up, possibly. I don't know what I'm doing. I should just get these top layers of snow. Yeah, that'll be better. Oh wait, I should have been knocking that down. So let's get these big pieces. But he's projecting onto Jake all the insecurities he actually feels. Whenever he's providing air support. Like, he does feel like he's safe, out of danger, not getting harmed. And so, projecting onto Jake, he's yelling at Jake for, for his own emotions. For going, oh, you feel so safe, so you can be as cocky as you want. And, when he's providing air support, before he regained his power to morph, he felt guilty about being safe while his friends were, deep in danger. Let's see, we should have a plan for how deep this is going to go. I think as soon as those steps, oh look. Okay, that'll be the edge. Let's actually work that. He's blaming Jake for being safe when really he always feels like a piece of shit whenever he's in the air away from danger. And it's also interesting to see that Tobias is disturbed that their roles have actually been switched now. Now it's not him in the air. Now it's someone else, and he's like, it looks totally different when you're on the air than when you're on the ground, in the air than when you're on the ground. And it's also interesting to see Jake himself needing, realizing how hard Tobias's job actually is, and so he's asking for, hey, I don't understand what I'm seeing. And so Tobias has to help out, and he wouldn't be able to, help out at all if, he hadn't spent so much time in the air. It's interesting with that role reversal. And then Tobias's huge burst of rage about the taxons. And he ends up thinking to himself, I am mad at the Elmis, right? That's who I'm mad at? Like, he's starting to doubt. do I actually... And I think that moment of doubt is helped by the fact that some part of him does realize that the Ellimist didn't fool him. The Ellimist did give Tobias what he wanted. It's just that Tobias didn't actually know what he wanted. I think earlier in the book, the Ellimist had said, if I give you what you want, will you, realize that's what I've done, or something along those lines? The answer is no. Tobias doesn't realize what he wanted this entire time. He thought he wanted to be human and all. And so, am I mad at the Ellimist? Tobias really just wanted his morphine powers back and to be useful again. Not necessarily to be human. And so when he goes, I'm mad at the Ellimist, right? That's his moment of doubt. It's moment of his mind sort of catching up to the fact that, hey, the Ellimist did give me... Oh, God. Oh, those weren't just a top layer of dirt. A top layer of snow. Okay, let's get the dirt back out. His moment of realizing, oh. But it's a stressful situation, plus he's a teen. So he doesn't immediately go, oh, I totally see now I was wrong about the Ellimist. He did give me what I wanted. You might want to get away from that little bunny. Okay, we built a fire. Yeah, up here we can have like a little lookout tower or something. And the chapter ends with them realizing, oh, we're going to actually have to fight. And Rachel's probably excited, like, oh my God, we're getting to fight. I mean, she was worried. I think she was only worried about Tobias's sudden rage because it was very unlike Tobias. While she's like all gung-ho about fighting, Tobias is not like that. So I think she wasn't really worried about fighting because, she likes... Her love language is bloodshed, so... But she understands that's different for Tobias and is trying, hold him together. Okay. So, if you have any questions for me about the chapter, please tell me. Ask away in the comments. Let me know. Let's make a nice little base around here. Let's actually get some snow. Snow block. Ooh, that's just what I need. Any comments, questions about things I didn't get to talking about it in the chapter, you know, comment down below, let me know. Let's start a nice little nerdy conversation about really nerdy stuff. And also remember, I have a no spoilers policy for Jash Reads, because I am hoping against hope that people get into the series, you know, via my dramatic reading. So, you know, I sort of want people to experience the twists and turns of the series if it's their first time, because there's some really good shit in the series that everyone should experience at least once. I got my heart broken, so should you. Hey. Now in just a moment I will be starting to read the links. And just a little warning, with some of the links are Amazon associate links. So, you know, buying from those links means you don't just get to support some creators, you also get to support me, your favorite Twitch streamer and YouTuber, maybe. Worth the shot. This is a little tower made with bricks. Anyways, figure out how high we want this little tower. I need to expand it a little bit, so we'll see. I'm not that great with stairs. Okay, now with the first link. Oh yeah, and about the goddamn, forgot to say this about the links because I'm forgetting everything today. Woo! Also, with the links, if you are watching this live on the Twitch, okay, good. Tobias is still with us. 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, this is a good height. Also about the links, if you're watching this live on the Twitch, I'll have the links in the description a little bit after I have finished streaming. So keep a lookout for that. If you're watching this live, well, if you're watching this on YouTube at all, the links will be right there for your viewing pleasure. So, anyways, let's get started on the links. The first link will, of course, be a link to buy your very own copy of Animorphs number 13, The Change by K.A. Applegate. Now, Animorphs is hands down my favorite series of all time. I read it when I was a kid, and it was just, I was totally addicted to it. And so I decided, I'll read this as an adult now. I was a little worried because I used to really like Piers Anthony, but I read him as an adult and I couldn't stand it. But I started to read Animorphs and I was like, oh my god, I really love this. It still, really holds up. happy. And Tobias is my favorite character. It was actually my first fictional crush, so yeah, really love him. Love, love, love. Let's get enough of this tree down that we can actually... Okay, let's get a little bed here. Just use temporarily so we have a little place to sleep off the darkness. And the next link is to my Twitter. I am Jash, Jashikins on Twitter. If you would like to talk all day and night about Animorphs to me, you know, I am game for that. I love Animorphs, but just remember the whole no spoilers thing isn't something I do everywhere. It's very much something only for my Jash Read series. So if there's stuff in the series you don't want spoiled, you know, either don't talk to me about Animorphs on there until you're all caught up, or... Why did I do that? Or just tell me, you know, where you are in the series and maybe what you don't want spoiled, so I don't accidentally, you know, ruin things for you, because I would not want you to, you know, have a bad experience. Let's stop putting bricks down here. Okay, the next link is to my Patreon, and I am Jashikins on Patreon. Now, what the Patreon does is help support these dramatic readings, all my other streams, and every odd thing I put on my blog, plus the books I write, you know, original books, which I will get to in the next link. I really might need to expand this. Unless I do a ladder. Yeah, I think a ladder would be best, although I can't really. Because let's see how big the steps are. Oh yeah, just throw the step down. We want nothing to do with your kind. Yeah, we're going to do a ladder situation here. I think it might work. Well, that'll be for a future episode. But yeah, so my Patreon helps support these streams, dramatic readings, all the streams I do, every odd thing I do on my blog, and the original book series I'm getting out, which I will talk about in the next link. And I currently have a $1 and a $5 tier. For the $1 tier, you get to see all my red bubble designs before I actually release them. Yay! Oh my god, it's so amazing! I'm amazing, yeah! And for a $5 tier, you get the cover reveals for my upcoming books. There you are. So if you want a nice little way to support me, and you support me financially, there is a good way to go. Okay, let's get some of this tree out of the way. I don't want to get rid of the whole entire tree, hence I'm not taking the effort to actually cut it all down. And last but not least, link to my original book series, Kafka's Men. It is a dark reverse harem series. Currently have 7 books out of the series. The 8th book is up for pre-order, and I am currently working on the 9th book. It's very much a labor of love. Let's take more pictures around the nice. I don't think we need to take an outside pic of the tower until it's finished. And so there's, some nice angsty romance. It's also a slow burn, so, if you like slow burns that go about the pace of glacier melting, if not slower, this will be a very good slow burn series for you. There's nice angst, there's some body horror, there's romance. And I don't shy away from the spice, but some books in the series do not have any sex scenes at all. So if you're someone who's like, I need a sex scene like every book, no. I also publish erotica, so I can go at 2 different paces for sex scenes. Every now and again, like a little bit of pinch of salt in your food, and other times just dousing the food completely. And Kafka's Men is very much a little light pinch of salt here and there. Seems like I'm done with the links, done with the dramatic reading, and we've reached a good place to end with the building. We're working on this nice little tower here. Maybe we'll get like a little outpost. I don't think this is a good place for a village, but a nice little outpost, yeah. Well, there's more mountains to climb, so yeah. I think one of the other mountains might have a better place to do a nice big old village, but for here, a nice little outpost. I mean, as you can see, the lodge is right there, so having a little outpost for people traveling might be best. But anyways, that will be it for this episode. Thank you all very much for taking time out of your day to watch this. If you became an Animorphs fan because of me, please let me know. I need that big ego boost, okay? I need the nice little shot of, what is it, serotonin? That's a rare fucking thing in my head. But anyways, yeah, that burst of serotonin. And until next time, whenever that may be, goodbye.